Hello and welcome to On Second Street. Today we're going to be talking about an issue that's been receiving more and more attention lately, and that is the Chinese Communist Party harassing people on Canadian soil. Here to talk with me about it are two people that have been following this issue, my colleague at secondstreet.org, Dom Lusick, as well as Catherine Leung, who's with Hong Kong Watch. Thank you both for taking a few minutes to chat today. Dom, I'll start with you. You just recently had a report come out that looked at this. You connected with people that have been facing harassment by the Chinese Communist Party. Could you just tell us a little bit about the types of about your report, but also the types of things that people are facing?
Yeah, that's right. So this report was inspired when I was in Vancouver interviewing a Chinese Canadian woman on a totally separate subject, and she mentioned that she had faced this type of intimidation or harassment from the Chinese Communist Party. This is something that has popped up in media reports before, but what we did was we tracked down 26 Chinese Canadians and other vulnerable groups who are targeted by the CCP, and just asked them to fill out a survey with five kind of high level, broad questions. What type of harassment are you facing? How often does it happen? Why do you think you're being harassed? That type of thing. And yeah, some of the stories we heard were quite shocking. People saying they suspect that Chinese agents have slashed their tires. They received threatening phone
Mhm.
calls in the middle of the night. One of the scariest threads that was fairly common throughout was family members and friends back in China being threatened by the authorities there. Now, obviously, the idea of Chinese agents targeting Canadians on Canadian soil is scary, but you do have some level of protection here. You're not directly underneath the communist regime, but when they're
Mhm.
using your family back home to influence you and get you to stop saying things they don't like about the Chinese Communist Party, that's scary.
Those are certainly troubling tales because we don't expect that people are going to be harassed on Canadian soil by foreign countries, but it certainly sounds like that's what's happening. Catherine, you've been following this issue closely. Could you tell us, are you surprised by anything that Dom mentioned, but also what is it that you've observed and heard from Canadians over the years?
Yeah, Dom's research really works well with what we found at Hong Kong Watch when we've interviewed members of the community, when we've talked to them about their experiences. A lot of it follows a common thread, and that is people who are involved in pro-democracy movements will be
Mhm.
intimidated, usually, like in Dom's report, through digital messages. A lot of the time, they're anonymous and difficult for law enforcement to trace, but important to report nonetheless for information's sake. But yes, the report very much follows the same thread that we've been seeing in the community.
Mhm. And is the trigger, Catherine, that when uh, Canadians that came from Hong Kong, when they speak out, that they're facing this type of harassment, or is it more broadly just anyone that originally came from Hong Kong that's facing this, or are there kind of trigger points?
Yeah, I think it comes in different forms. Definitely people who have come to Canada and continue to speak out are targets.
Mhm.
People who do work in this sector, like my colleagues and I, would also be a target as well. We have cases from within my organization of people facing transnational repression as a result of the work we do here. But it's also a little bit broader than that. A lot of the time, even people who are involved in just community work, if it's tied to other people who are involved in a bit more political pro-democracy movement activities,
Mm.
may see threats like these as well.
So it sounds like if you are speaking out or doing things that the Chinese Communist Party doesn't like, then that's what's causing people to suffer from these types of problems. Is that kind of what you picked up too, Dom, or is it all Chinese Canadians that are getting harassed, or is it just those that are speaking out?
Yeah, it was one of the questions we asked was why do you think you're being targeted, and it was always some kind of reflection on their beliefs, whether it was a religious faith. We had a lot of Falun Gong practitioners, some Christians who said it was because of their faith, Hong Kongers who
Mhm.
support democracy there, And it was beliefs based, is what we heard.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to talk more about this issue and including potential solutions.